Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ Marino and we are gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con 2022. There is a big year ahead of us and we have a lot to talk about. So in this video we're going to be jumping into the 5 major talking points, things we should be looking out for at this year's Comic-Con. Alright, enough of this intro, let's get into the video right now. Coming in at number 5, we have the farewell of Walking Dead. Well, kind of. This is going to be quite an interesting year for Walking Dead because the main series is finally wrapping up. It feels like it's been going on for 3 decades now. It feels like we've lived through an actual zombie apocalypse and The Walking Dead is still on. But now the main series comes to a close, but they have some new things that they're introducing. There's going to be Tales from the Walking Dead there, which is an anthology series. We're going to have like a Negan episode. It's just going to be kind of like individual little like vignettes of zombie mayhem. That's going to be really cool. We might even get a little bit of the Norman Reedus Daryl spinoff. That series that was supposed to be Daryl and Carol is now just a Daryl series. That's going to be quite interesting. I don't know. Fans are a bit tired of Walking Dead, but then there's still some crazy, passionate, like, Walking Dead people out there. That Walker Stalker is still a big deal when it comes around. So the Walking Dead farewell is going to be quite a big deal. Maybe not as important as other things on this list, but it's something you should definitely keep an eye out for. At number 4, we have the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves panel. This is the big event for the film adaptation that's going to be coming quite soon. I'm intrigued by this. I have no idea about anything D&D, but I'm always down to learn. I'm always down to watch a movie. So what could this bring us? It's going to be quite interesting to see after the Stranger Things uprising of D&D fans to see a movie adaptation. Will the fans embrace it of like those longtime D&D players? Will they be like, sure, give us a mainstream outing, or will they reject it like so many other things? What would the filmmakers do? We might learn some things with this panel. This has a pretty strong cast that we might see show up. Chris Pine's gonna be there, at least, you know, in the film he could show up, but Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Sophia Lillis, these are 3 actors, I mean, hell, even Hugh Grant, who love the fans, who love the fandom aspect of this, so I can see them really coming to make this feel like a warm, welcome experience, and, you know, kind of bringing in familiar fans and newcomers to the D&D world. I think that could be really, really fun. There's also like a little tavern going to be popping up at Comic-Con. So if anyone is going, make sure you have a D&D style drink, have some fun, because that's going to be a big deal at one point. I mean, more opportunities to get nerdy, to have some fun, to have some drinks. That could be really fun, and we could see D&D make a big splash here and another year if this keeps doing well. They're trying to get a franchise out of this. Who knows? But let's see. Let's hope this panel shows what we have to offer, and at least let's all hope it could be good. For number 3, we're going to be putting 2 fandoms together that usually are a bit similar, but a bit at odds with each other, and this is the first time they will be facing off ever. We have a Lord of the Rings panel on Friday for the new Amazon series, and a Game of Thrones panel on Saturday for the House of Dragon series. Whoa, like, it's crazy to think that we have Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones coming back to our screens this year. Both small screen versions. It's not like we're getting a Game of Thrones movie and a Lord of the Rings show. They're both doing shows, so it feels comparable. It feels like we're going to be getting into the medieval, the very fantasy elements all over again. Also with the D&D in the last category, it seems like we are in a fantasy mindset with some of these panels, and I think both of these have a lot to offer. That Lord of the Rings series has been met with some controversy online from people who don't like the added diversity. They say it's not very Tolkien. I don't know. I'm not the Lord of the Rings expert here, but I do think this panel will be noteworthy. We should be getting a fuller, like more detailed trailer, maybe more from the actors involved. I'm curious to see what the filmmakers, actors, and what the studio can present with this panel. Can they win over those naysayers? Can they show Lord of the Rings can work after those mediocre Hobbit films? Let's see what they can do. Speaking of people trying to overcome some odds, we also have that Game of Thrones House of the Dragon panel. We all know the major controversy, the polarizing final season of Game of Thrones, and how everyone felt Now they have another outing which is more dragon based, all about the Targaryens. People like that, even though the Daenerys ending was not everyone's favorite. So what are we gonna do here? Like, I'm the most intrigued by what Game of Thrones can do as their comeback. I'm one of those people who did not hate the final season. If y'all thought that was ridiculous, did y'all miss the seasons before that were equally plot hole filled and drama filled and all that jazz? I don't know. So we can see what they can do. I do think that Benioff and Weiss not being here is a help for this, is a fresh new take on this. George R.R. Martin is still here, and hell, even if this goes good, they could sneak in some stuff for that, like, rumored, if not kind of confirmed, Jon Snow spinoff. Who knows what Game of Thrones can offer up, but let's see if they can win the fandom back as much as Lord of the Rings has to as well. In that number 2 spot is the DC panel. Okay, well, it's more of the Black Adam panel because, yeah, they don't want to promote their other stuff because The Flash has a Ezra Miller shaped elephant in the room, and what do we do with that? So we'll just ignore that and focus on Black Adam. Black Adam should be a pretty big deal for the studio. This is a Dwayne Johnson-led film. This has an action-adventure quality to that first trailer. What could Dwayne Johnson do at a panel at Comic-Con? He is a man of the fans. He's beloved. Like, I know some people are a bit tired of him. I could be one of those people. But when he needs to turn on the shill, the, like, let's promo something, the boy goes all out for it. And I will always applaud Dwayne Johnson for his love of Hollywood, much like Tom Cruise. Like, these are dudes who really love making their type of movies and having a big spectacle around it. And DC needs a big spectacle. I thought the Batman this year was a huge, huge deal, but it didn't make that big mainstream splash that I would have loved to have seen it do. So let's see what Black Adam can do. Can this hit those people who like that more Marvel styling, who is scared by a 3-hour runtime or a darker film, or who are a bit nervous about things like Aquaman because of the other drama attached to that, or what the hell's happening with Shazam 2. So yeah, Black Adam is going to be the big centerpiece for DC. They have a lot to showcase here. Maybe a new trailer, maybe some actual, like, footage of scenes. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think Black Adam is going to be one of the most must-see things from all of Comic-Con. Now, for that number 1 spot, Disney steals it with a Marvel panel. Yes, the MCU is heading to Hall H, and that should be a big deal. It's Saturday, same thing as the Black Adam panel, and I think the MCU one's going to be the bigger deal. It's honestly a fact that the MCU is still a dominant force. Even with the meh reviews of Thor Love and Thunder, it still made a buttload of money. So the MCU is still the hottest thing ever. Miss Marvel just wrapped today, and it was a pretty good show as well. So they're on a bit of a roll. So entering Comic-Con, they have a lot to promote. There is the whole MCU lineup. Like, is Kevin Feige going to do another one of those timelines? Here's all the movies are going to coming out, and then it just changes. Like, do you remember that Captain America Serpent Society movie? That never happened. Anyways, so yeah, I'm curious of what they're going to do. They're definitely going to promote Black Panther here a lot. Like, we've had those leaked images of the characters that I don't want to name, who's going to be a big deal in the film, with some of the Okoye and Shuri, like, looks. We also have Riri Williams, who's going to be in the show, or in the movie. Yeah, there's a lot we could be doing with this Black Panther, like, set here. There's a lot of other stuff, like the Marvels coming up, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Like, there's things to also talk about, but I definitely see this being a Black Panther moment. Maybe Ryan Coogler shows up. Are they going to do something for Chadwick Boseman, who just got nominated for a voice acting role that he did in What If? That would be really nice, like a little tribute to him. I don't know, but I do think the MCU returning, a lot is going to be said here. Do we know the next phase of stuff? Is there anything X-Men related? We just heard the word mutation in Miss Marvel today, so what does that mean? Is it mutants? Is it, like, legit mutants? What's going on? Kevin Feige, please have an answer for the fandom. I'm not even an MCU person, but I'm curious to see what the next era is going to be. This Phase 4 has been kind of a, let's just chill, do our own vibes. As we near Phase 5, we're going to need a big villain, a big story story arc, and I think we're gonna find out what's happening at this year's Comic-Con. Alright everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I'm really looking forward to Comic-Con. We're going to be doing some breakdowns next weekend, talking about what's happening, getting into the footage, getting into all of the craziness, so I can't wait. Make sure you guys join us for this. Subscribe to Flickering Myth, give us a thumbs up, and comment what you're looking forward to the most down below. Alright everyone, let's talk about Comic-Con and all of its craziness right now.